You know what we are at British Pathé? We're an incredible news archive. But you know what we're not? Only an incredible news archive. I mean, sure, you can spend weeks looking at footage of wars and kings and men in space and xylophones, but there's one field in which I think British Pathé gets overlooked. Education. That's right, education. You see, from the beginning, British Pathé was making educational films, often cutting-edge films, often controversial films, because, let's face it, the world wasn't going to teach itself stuff. Even back in the 1920s, teaching thousands of young men the importance of neck stretching. Now, during World War II, women were forced by circumstance to take over a lot of jobs that had been traditionally male. And when men returned from the war, British Pathé and the British government, now this is really true, made several modern educational films, like this one from 1945, which teaches men how to look after babies. Note, this was a new idea.
This new idea in bringing up father in the way he should go is being carried out at the French Hospital Nursery, London. And very successful it is too. Nurse has to help with the undressing. Men are so useless with ribbons and things. Well, if all else fails, these chaps can always go out and get themselves jobs as nursemaids.
No, they couldn't. No one would have hired a male nurse back then.
This scheme for teaching father to take his share of responsibility has the backing of the Ministries of Health and Education. But they don't actually encourage Dad to eat his children.
I think it's a very good thing that the British Ministries of Health and Education don't actually encourage Dad to eat his children. But what they did do is continue to teach girls and boys to reverse traditional gender roles, like here from 1950.
The girls learn something of those jobs that usually fall to future husbands. And they put up a mighty good performance too. It's training for life, says Headmaster Mr. F.C.E. Anson, and we all know how often life consists of such things as leaky taps or a broken fuse.
I wonder what other things Mr. F.C.E. Anson has up his sleeve, because this is cool. See, British Pathé has always been at the forefront of modern education, and seriously, schools only got weirder.
The staff of the school believe that if you blindly forbid children to do something, then they will certainly revolt. The answer is to allow them to find out for themselves whether these conventions are good or bad. Besides which, smoking calms the nerves.
Let's be clear. If you forbid them from smoking, then they're only going to smoke, so they may as well smoke. Because it calms the nerves. They're at the school from the movie Grease, apparently.
The right sort of education will channel a child's vitality into creative activities. This sort of painting may be a bit strange, but at least she's having fun. This unusual school claims successes which bear out the headmaster's attitude to developing youngsters.
There you have it. It might seem strange, but it seems to work.
You should see my she really knows how to rock.
I totally want to go to this school.
What kind of education do the pupils get here? The answer is best supplied by one of the pupils who says, "We learn no more than we would at an ordinary school." But there are compensations, like being happy. Like being happy? Well, we wonder.
I could go on all day because we have 85,000 films, including all the ones I just showed you. But even though this was a bit lighthearted, I wanted to show you that British Pathé has always been a bastion of modern education. So now you know. And you know what you should go and do now? You should click here to go see the British invasion.